Hey everyone, Millennial Brochan here, and today I'm going to be having a discussion about what I believe that Dragon Ball can do to bring back relevancy to most of the Z Fighters. Did you know that Z Fighters is actually not even a canon term? It's actually just a dub. But anyway, to the point of the day. What can Dragon Ball do to bring back relevancy to the Z Fighters? And more importantly, I guess I should address why they need to. And the reason for it is pretty obvious, I think. It's because Goku, as the main protagonist, tends to be the guy who saves the day in the end. And each time he has to save the day, the villain's always stronger than the previous time. So obviously there's a power creep there. So with the power creep, Goku has to become stronger. With that being said, the other Z Fighters kind of get left in the dust. There's a huge power gap there, and they've never really addressed it. Dragon Ball hasn't. Not really, anyway. They say they kind of train in the background, but it's never enough. And that's a shame. Maybe it was because Akira Toriyama just simply didn't want to, just for the sake of having more simple writing. Because if you have everybody having some of these major attacks, then, instead of just Goku, it's going to make things a lot more complicated. And I don't think Akira Toriyama really wanted to deal with that. So that's why he kind of kept certain attacks with only certain characters like Goku or Gohan. Right now, the attack that I'm thinking of, that's in my mind, is the Kaioken, which obviously that's the attack Goku knows. And he learned it when he went to King Kai's planet after going to the other world from the fight with his brother Raditz before the Saiyans came. Obviously, blah, blah, blah. You know the story. But yeah, so he went to King Kai's planet. King Kai taught him the Kaioken. And so he was the only one that knew it at the time, which made a lot of sense. Obviously, no one else would be able to know it at the time of the fight with the Saiyans. But after the fight with the Saiyans, he's not the only person that went to King Kai's planet. You had Tien, Yamcha, Chiaotzu, and Piccolo all cross Snake Way to go train with King Kai. They went like a million miles to go train with this man. And what did King Kai give them? What did they walk away with? What did they leave knowing that they didn't know before they went there? Nothing. Nada. Not a thing. None of them. How is this possible? They were there for a lot longer than Goku. Goku came back with the best techniques of all time. And yet, or at least some of the best techniques in the show, and yet they came back empty-handed. And you're not talking about some guys that don't know how to fight. You're not talking about inexperienced martial artists that don't know how to learn techniques. No, you're talking about Tien, a lifelong martial artist, so skilled that he was actually able to beat Goku in a world martial arts tournament. I mean, yeah, Goku was a kid, but it's still Goku. And Tien had only become better since then. And then you have Piccolo, a Namekian prodigy. Who was there, again, to learn. They had crossed a million miles to learn from King Kai. So there's no reason whatsoever that they shouldn't know the Kaioken. Heck, they should know the Spirit Bomb, but for now, I'm just going to focus on the Kaioken. Now, obviously, even with the Kaioken, nowadays in Dragon Ball Super, that's not really going to be enough to catch them up. But there are other things. For example, like I said, techniques with Goku and Gohan. In the Buu Saga, Gohan became what was known as, Ultimate Gohan or Mystic Gohan, whatever you want to call him. He got that power not from his Super Saiyan transformation, but from the old Kai. So again, this is not a Saiyan transformation. Anybody can achieve this power, and it's so strong. He literally didn't have to do Super Saiyan anymore. Super Saiyan became irrelevant. So now, just to kind of put this into perspective, all of these fighters that were trying their best, their whole lives were dedicated to keep up with Goku, to be the strongest, to surpass Goku. And then one day, Goku becomes the one and only legendary Super Saiyan, and then they pretty much all say, that's it, they can never catch up. That's the point where that's done. They kind of give up. But now they have this golden opportunity, pun intended, to get a transformation or a power-like transformation stronger than Super Saiyan. They all have that opportunity, every single one of them, especially Piccolo, by the way, because Piccolo would obviously have access to the Kais. I mean, he's got deity status. He used to be the guardian of the earth. I mean, I'm sure he can get in touch with the Kais. If nothing else, he can get in touch with Goku, who can then teleport him there. He instant transmission him there. So it's not a problem. And you're telling me throughout all this time between Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super, not one of them, not one of these dudes who dedicate their entire lives to training out in the wilderness decided to go do that. I mean, you look at the dedication these guys have. Tien gave up being with Launch just to train. Think about that. He gave up being with a woman just to train in the wilderness with Chiaotzu to become a little bit stronger, even though he probably knows in the back of his mind he's never catching up to Goku. But just in case, he's gonna do it anyway. That's dedication. I know guys that wouldn't give up anything if it meant to not be with a girl. Like, seriously, that's dedication. But I digress. None of these guys knew, or none of these guys decided to go and get this power. And, you know, you can't, I know you're probably saying that, you know, hey, you know, they didn't want to do it because it's not their power, and they don't want to do it because they want to earn it. No, that's only a Saiyan thing. That's only something that stupid people like Goku and Vegeta would say. Like the Earthlings, like Piccolo or Earthlings or Piccolo, they're not going to say that. They just want to get the power. You know what? Good for them, because they got to protect the Earth from crazy villains. Because apparently in the Dragon Ball universe, it's like an every 5-year thing. We're going to get some crazy, strong, new, evil person trying to come in and kill everybody. And yeah, they need to be ready for that kind of stuff. And they know that. So they should have went and they should have gotten it done. In fact, in the Tournament of Power, right before it, the old guy says something like, you know, he offers to kind of unlock people's potential, but then, conveniently, you know, they don't have enough time to do it. Well, dude, you had all this time before. Maybe if you weren't such a lazy, you know, all these guys are so lazy. They don't do anything. But and then they would have just, if he would have just done it, then he had all this time to do it. If he would have just done it, then yeah, the Universe 7 would have been in a much better shape for the Tournament of Power. But speaking of the Tournament of Power, the only saving grace that allowed them to win was Ultra Instinct, which, interestingly enough, could be the answer to everything, because Ultra Instinct is not a Saiyan transformation. It can go to anybody. And, you know, it does remind me a lot of Super Saiyan in the fact that right now Goku's the only one that can do it. And just like, you know, Super Saiyan, he was the only one that could do it for a while until he wasn't. And it slowly started to lose its value. By the way, check out that video. I have a discussion of when did Super Saiyan lose its value. But yeah, so Ultra Instinct loses its value. It's going to lose its value once the merchandise stops selling. And they're going to need to, you know, replace it. And the first thing they're going to need to do is make other people with Ultra Instinct. And since it's not just a Saiyan transformation, you're not limited to just Vegeta or Gohan or something like that. No, you can use anybody. So yeah, the question is, you know, who do you use? You know, personally, I would choose to have Piccolo do it, bring him back. He was always my favorite character up until probably the end of the Cell saga. Buu saga, Piccolo kind of sucked, super disappointing. But before that, awesome character, amazing. But who would you guys pick? Who would you guys pick? I would pick Piccolo. Who would you pick? Probably Piccolo too. I don't know. Leave a comment in the section. Let me know. But yeah, so you have Ultra Instinct. Ultra Instinct could bring somebody or all of them back into relevancy. I feel like any of them could have the capability of learning it. I mean, they're all capable martial artists. It's not like Goku is leaps and bounds better at being a martial artist than they are. He just kind of has an advantage as far as how strong he can get, how fast he can get strong. But yeah, they have the ability to learn just as well as he does, if not better. I mean, he does have brain damage. That's a joke. He's a genius when it does come to martial arts. But yeah, so you have that, or you don't even have to go that far. You don't have to go that far as to teach them all Ultra Instinct. You can keep Ultra Instinct the way it is. You have other things in the Dragon Ball universe that you could use. Amazing plot devices. Including the ultimate plot device, you have the Dragon Balls. So all of these characters have access to Bulma, who has a Dragon Radar. With the Dragon Radar, any of these people can then collect the Dragon Balls before lunch and have any wish that they want. They live great lives. But yeah, so they can have any wish they want. That leaves the door open to countless amount of wishes that they could make to put them back into relevancy. I mean, I can think of one right off the top of my head, and that's, you know, maybe wish to never get older again. Because then you have access to another unbelievable plot device, the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. So yeah, just go in there. Go in there, lock yourself in the hyperbolic time chamber for a few thousand years. You know, it'd be a couple of years our time, but come out and you're gonna be like, not be super crazy, but who cares? Because you're gonna be super strong. You've got so many different ways. You have so many different ways to bring them back into relevancy. The fact that they don't, it's kind of disappointing, and hopefully they do. Like I said, Dragon Ball Super does seem to be trying. So that's my thoughts on everything. And hey, thanks for sticking around for this whole video. I can't believe it. But since you did, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Also the bell icon. That way you become notified every time I come out with new content. And speaking of my content, you should check out some of my other content on my channel. It's not all just discussion videos. I also do Dragon Ball countdowns and Dragon Ball parody videos that I made myself. And I think they're actually pretty funny. So yeah, let me know what you think of those. And I'll catch you guys on the flippity flip.